6.35%. That is the standard sales tax rate you're expected to pay on most car purchases right here in the state of Connecticut. So think about it. If you're looking at buying a pretty standard $25,000 used car, you are suddenly coughing up nearly $1,600 in taxes alone. It's a massive and honestly often hidden cost of getting a new set of wheels on the road. But what if I told you there's a way around this? Want to legally skip paying this tax on your next car? I know, it might sound a little too good to be true, but if you're transferring a vehicle to a family member, it's actually a perfectly legal way to avoid this hefty fee. There's a catch, though. Getting it wrong at the DMV can cost you that exemption entirely, plus a whole lot of your time and frustration. So welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into exactly how to transfer a car title between family members in Connecticut. I'm going to give you a clear, bureaucratic blueprint for navigating the DMV without making those costly mistakes. By the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly what to do to make this transfer as smooth, stress-free, and cost-effective as possible. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for today. We'll cover the family tax exemption, who qualifies as immediate family, your required document toolkit, the step-by-step transfer process, fees and property taxes, and finally, common pitfalls to avoid. Section 1. The family tax exemption, avoiding the 6.35% sales tax. So the primary benefit of a family transfer is obviously massive. Standard sales demand that 6.35% tax, and by the way, that actually bumps up to 7.75% if the vehicle's over $50,000. But to get this exemption, the absolutely crucial, biggest initial hurdle to clear is what's known as the 60-day registration rule. This is a strict state mandate requiring the vehicle to be registered in the transferring family member's name for at least 60 consecutive days prior to the transfer. Now, you might be wondering, why does this exist? Well, the state wants to prevent what they call title skipping. Basically, you can't just buy a car from a neighbor and instantly transfer it to your daughter tax-free to bypass the system. No way. The vehicle must have been taxed previously and legally registered to you for 2 full months before you can officially gift it. Section 2. Who qualifies as immediate family? Strict definitions apply. Now, what's really interesting about this next point is how strictly Connecticut defines family. Spouses, civil union partners, parents, children, and siblings all qualify for the tax exemption. However, and this is a big however, transferring a vehicle to a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, or your nieces and nephews does not qualify for the tax exemption. So if a grandparent gifts a car to their grandchild, that grandchild will absolutely be subject to standard sales taxes based on the car's retail value. It's a rigid legal boundary, and you really need to be aware of it to set your expectations right from the get-go. Section 3. Your required document toolkit, gathering the paperwork. All right, this is the practical preparation phase. I'd honestly advise taking a screenshot of this checklist because getting turned away at the DMV because you missed one signature or brought the wrong form is a frustrating rite of passage that we want you to skip entirely. First, you need the assigned certificate of title, which proves ownership. Do not, under any circumstances, use crossouts or whiteout on this document or it is considered defaced. Second, Form H-13B, the application for registration and title. You're going to fill out Section 5 specifically for the tax exemption. Third is Form AU-463. Pay close attention to this one because this is the specific magic gift declaration paperwork you must have to claim that tax exemption. Fourth, Form H-31, the bill of sale, which you actually need even if absolutely zero money is exchanging hands. And finally, a valid Connecticut insurance card in the new owner's or transferee's name. Section 4. Step-by-step transfer process, from driveway to DMV. Let's move to a real-world scenario and see how this builds. To make this practical, let's use a hypothetical example. A parent is gifting a car to their child who just got their license. What do they actually do? Step 1, the transferor, the parent in our example, removes the physical license plates from the car. In Connecticut, plates belong to the person, not the vehicle. Step 2, the transferor cancels their active registration. I literally cannot emphasize this enough. If you skip canceling the registration, the original owner is permanently on the hook for local property taxes year after year. Step 3, the transferee, the child, secures active Connecticut insurance strictly in their own name. And Step 4, the transferee visits a DMV hub to process the paperwork and get their brand new plates. Section 5. Fees and property taxes. The hidden costs of free. So the crucial point is, while you are avoiding the massive sales tax, it's incredibly important to understand that gifting a car isn't completely free. The bureaucracy still requires its minimum administrative tribute, if you will. The mandatory minimum cost for this transfer at the DMV is $194. This covers a standard 3-year registration at $120, a $25 title fee, the $24 passport to parks fee, which, hey, gets you into state parks for free, a $15 Clean Air Act fee, and a $10 admin fee. By knowing this exact breakdown, there's going to be absolutely no sticker shock when the new owner reaches the DMV counter. But remember, the DMV isn't the only entity collecting money. You need to consider the local property tax. In Connecticut, the real ongoing cost of owning a vehicle isn't the DMV. It's determined by your town assessor. They will tax the vehicle every single year based on 70% of the vehicle's NADA retail value multiplied by your local mill rate. To put that into perspective, if you live in Hartford, that mill rate is capped at 32.46. But if you live in Greenwich, it's closer to 12. This happens annually, so make sure the new family member is prepared for this ongoing expense before they accept the gift. Section 6. Common pitfalls to avoid. Navigating the red tape. Consider this section your survival guide to sidestep common traps that result in immediate DMV rejections. Listen closely. You absolutely must go to a full DMV hub for this process. They are required for title transfers, full registrations, and processing those tax exemptions. Please do not waste a Saturday afternoon waiting in line at a DMV Express location, like a AAA or a Nutmeg State Financial Credit Union. They are strictly prohibited by law from processing vehicle title transfers. They only handle basic stuff, like driver's license renewals. And this brilliantly illustrates the state's leverage. The DMV's system is fully integrated with local municipalities. If you have delinquent local property taxes, unpaid parking tickets, or registration suspensions from lapsed insurance, literally anywhere in Connecticut, the system will freeze your transfer immediately. Also, if there was a previous loan on the car you're gifting, you must bring a physical release letter from the lien holder. Basically, make sure the slate is entirely clean before booking your appointment. Now, before we wrap up, I do need to read this disclaimer clearly. This explainer is for informational purposes only. Please consult the Connecticut DMV or legal professionals for specific advice related to your situation. Rules, fees, and forms can totally update over time, so always double-check with the official state resources before you head out to the DMV. So, now that you have the complete blueprint, who in your family is getting the keys next? Following these exact steps turns what could easily be a bureaucratic nightmare into a really simple money-saving family milestone. Gather your documents, check your tax status, make an appointment at a hub, and enjoy the ride. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.